Or maybe we just won't forget. Like this weekend.
Maybe.
It's all a blur.
Ooh, it's definitely all blur. That's for damn sure. Lots of fun though. Had a good time.
I'm glad you did. Because I don't know if everybody did. I had a good time.
You meaning yourself?
I had a good time, man. It was a lot of fun. Thank you, guys. Regan, are you recovered or are you dead inside?
I was gonna ask you guys off air if anyone's liver is still recuperating as I poured myself a vodka. So I'm doing pretty good. Withdrawals for 2 days, not gonna lie.
So I am currently testing out cocktails for the wedding. So my liver is gone.
Uh-oh.
it won't be there. It's out on arrival, man.
Somebody's gonna be blacked out.
Yeah, those 3-day hangovers when you're in your 30s are a real thing. I'll tell you.
Dude.
Long time to recover.
I took a nap with my newborn. It was the best ever. We slept for 3 hours after I slept.
Love it. Love it. That's what I did with Ryan's mom. We cuddled for about 3 hours.
Welcome to Just the Tip, a fantasy football podcast with your tippers, Matt, Disfatt-Bidge.
These are just our tips, so take them easy, take them hard. It's up to you.
Ryan, the Tagless Haynes.
Most bizarre Haynes brief that there's ever been.
And Matt, hi, or Regan.
Yeah, I hear you. And I definitely would take the shot on it because you'd be dumb not to.
Coming to you from the heart of New England. Get ready to take some tips.
It's like we were clubbing the other night.
Ugh.
Should have had him play this song.
Stuff.
It's like Night at the Roxbury. That's the thing. That's how we were dancing.
You, me, him, me.
Me, you. I love it.
Well, you takers out there, welcome in to. You gotta do this the whole time. Just the Tip, a fantasy football podcast. We are finished up with week 5, and boy, howdy, was it a week for the record books. Regan,
jerk.
You destroyed me in one, but then Travis Kelce, man, I hope you guys started him out there. Just absolutely destroyed it for my lineup, killing you. So
I was up by like 30.
Ridiculous. But hopefully you takers are enjoying our tips and taking them well, and hopefully you guys are 5-0. Any of you guys 5-0? It's been a strange year. I am 4-1 is my best. Yeah, I had not gone undefeated like last year. I think I went on a 9-0 run or something. But it's all right. If you are still 0-5, you are not out of it yet, but you have to make some moves. So, tip-off question, guys. If you've been having a disappointing season, it's time to shake it up. Even if you're in the middle of the pack, you probably should shake it up. See what your point's for. Are you just getting unlucky? But give me a guy that you're looking to trade for to help your team. He's kind of been a little lackluster, and maybe that team's a little disappointed with him. Regan, who do you got?
This one might be a little tough to grab from somebody, but I think there's definitely a possibility coming in at wide receiver 36, and that's Brandon Cooks. It's kind of struggling. Only got 1 touchdown. I believe 52 fantasy points total. You know, like I said, middle of the pack. But he has 42 targets. Yeah, 42 targets, only 24 receptions. He's getting the work. It just hasn't landed his way. Like I said, with the touchdowns, he only has 1. I can picture you fighting someone that's just like, you know what, he's a bum this year. Especially how people probably took him as their, late second, early third wide receiver off the board. It's a pretty good chance. And I would love that depth, and I'd love the consistency.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Definitely. How much are you willing to give up for him?
A lot.
A lot.
It depends. We can't really say fab. So player wise,
trading for him. So
Yeah, that's a rough
like
one.
This is a cash deal. Go
I was gonna say,
85 fab for Brandon Cooks.
he's playing buddy ball over here. I'll send you some cash.
I got a $5 gift card to D'Angelo's, a pack of gummy bears, and
Ooh, all right. I will take that trade.
for that one, so you're probably gonna have to trade a running back.
Yeah, if they're disappointed at wide
It's
receiver, or
Pretty
I
rough.
don't know.
A good one that I always try to do at this point in time, because I'm a guy that grabs a lot of backups, is if you have a guy like Alexander Madison or something like that, try to package deal that for two guys and throw that their way. You could throw, maybe like Isaiah McKenzie and Alexander Madison and grab Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, or if they're
Ooh,
quarterback needy and you have a second QB, I'm willing to part ways if I'm doing all right. And I'm like, I need to bolster up my wide receiver 3 spot. I was gonna say flex and wide receiver 3 spot. Ryan, how about you?
I'm actually going to pivot here. It's different than the doc. I'm going to say Jerry Jeudy.
Okay.
I mean,
I
when
like
this guy's
it.
on the field, when he's healthy, he's seeing over an 84% snap rate, and he's heavily targeted. He's got 2 touchdowns. He's showing you those flashes. It's just a matter of being healthy and this offense putting it together. The latter, I'm not so optimistic on, but I do. They've struggled already, and he has put up some fantasy points in some of these games. So go out and get Jerry Jeudy. Ride or die. Let's ride, baby.
God.
Let's ride.
I hate your face.
Oh, maybe if I turn the volume up for the drops, you idiot. Did you mean to be punny with the ladder? No.
The ladder? No, I wasn't.
Russell Wilson has an injured lat, so I thought that would be a genius pun there.
Oh, look at me. Innate,
Yeah, totally meant it.
innate puns.
Yeah, their offense will turn around. They are going to have a better schedule coming up. I will get into that next week. I'm trying to get a trade, so I don't want to spoil it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Hopefully he heals up. They have their bye week 10, and after that, their stretch. Hopefully Russell Wilson heals up and that passing attack picks it up.
Bye week 9, but the next 4 games are against Chargers, Jets, Jaguars, Titans. So I mean, I think he's a guy, and you can go out and get him right now. You could probably, if you have some running back depth, a CEH. I mean, James Robinson, maybe like somebody might still be a little bit high on James Robinson and real down on Jerry Jeudy. I don't know. I think if people are desperate enough for running backs, you could ship off one of those guys and bring in a Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, I like it.
Different.
Switch out the positions. Yep. See who's needy for something that you got plentiful on. I might go.
Like how you worded that.
Yeah, I don't know if that would work out. Right?
Plentiful. That's a nice word. Plentiful. All right.
Plethora, I think, is what I meant to say. Excuse me. Michael
football, not grammar. Don't worry.
Nah, not at all. I was homeschooled. Michael Pittman Jr., guys, he's been a little bit disappointed. He had one good week, and he's been pretty disappointing. They're not throwing downfield, but I'm hoping when their offensive line gets healed up in Indy, he'll come back and he'll do all right. He is currently wide receiver 29, and people drafting him to be their wide receiver 2. So one of those guys, I'm willing to part ways with a running back or a tight end. Say they're tight end needy, send him out. Pat Freiermuth, or if you picked up Taysom Hill, get rid of Taysom Hill. Trade bait after that huge week.
What about like TJ Hawkinson?
Yeah, get rid of him. Bye. So disappointing.
39 points in 1 week.
I'll get more into tight ends later when we do our start sits with the tight ends. The scoring is going to shock you. And with that, let's get into real quick Scott Fish update. Maybe
not.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
I'll do that.
Tuna, I would swim out in the middle of the ocean and freaking eat you. And then I'd bang your tuna girlfriend.
Tuna. It's a fish. We are in the top 1,000, boys. We need to make the top 1,500 to make the playoffs. It's a double scoring, so you got to beat the median as well as win your week as well. And we are 8-2 right now. So we need 13 wins at least to make the playoffs. So hopefully we get that.
Nice.
Yeah, Josh Allen. Josh Allen's been killing us.
Yeah, we're really killing
it. We are. We know what we're doing. But yeah, with that, we are going to get into the hurt locker and our starts and sits, sexy flexy, but some curious injuries that we got to pay attention to, see what's going on. So Regan will get into that. But if you are listening to us on Apple, Spotify, Google, and Amazon, rate and review, download our episodes, share our tips with your friends and family, your league mates, make it a little bit more challenging. Or if you don't like our tips and you think our tips are curving the wrong way, still share it with your league mates. Steer them the wrong way. Steer them right there. A little bit to the left. To the left, to the left. Ah! 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 What do we got for injuries, Regan?
All right, so I'm going to throw a couple of good ones out there, a couple bad ones. There's a plethora of injuries.
Yes.
And we just can't go through all of them. Keep an eye out on our socials for updates. But anyways, good news. Jonathan Taylor has returned to practice in a limited fashion. Coach and staff said he has an opportunity to play this weekend. Pretty exciting. He missed his first game of his career last week. Still makes me nervous to play him this week. Let's keep moving, though. Saquon Barkley, shoulder limited at practice, but there's no concern of him not playing this week. So Saquon Barkley is a go. Raheem Mostert, Miami, knee injury. Said his knee feels great. He said he is playing this Sunday. Good news, because he had a pretty good game last week. Keenan Allen. So this one was a little weird, but I'm going to leave it in there anyways. Obviously, the hamstring injury, limited practice today, but it was only a walkthrough. So he was in shorts and shirt. They play Monday, I believe. So that's why it was just a walkthrough. But the fact that he was out there and actually with the team is a great sign. A little worried about playing him this week, but for the future, it's great news. Chris Olave is in a little concussion protocol. So the new stages and everything, there's 5 stages to get out of protocol. He's already went through 3 with no setbacks, but there is 2 more. So just keep that in mind. The bad news, fellas, this is just a couple of them. This one's really making me nervous, and it is T. Higgins with an ankle injury. Did not practice yesterday, and he was in street clothes today on the sidelines, meaning no pads, no nothing, not interacting with the team at all, just watching. That's a rough one. I got nothing on that one. We'll talk about that one later. Anyways, James Conner, rib injury, expected to miss this week. So Benjamin is a go. Rashad Bateman, foot injury, not practicing again. This one's rough as well. Melvin Gordon, neck and ribs. The ribs is a new injury. He was limited today. I would expect him to play, but a rib injury is definitely not the best thing for a running back. And the fact that it's a new injury this week, I hope he didn't get it at practice. There's no word on that, but definitely not good for a running back. And then Damian Harris, guys, hamstring injury, limited practice. Obviously, it was the show yet last. Oh my God, Ramondre Stevenson show. Yeah, it was his show last week.
Yeah, baby.
So the Pats brought up Kevin Harris from their practice squad, so that makes me a little bit nervous that Damian Harris is a little worse.
Yep.
Than we think. He did practice limited today, but who knows what that means? The Pats could just have him out there doing walking drills. You never know. So the Pats will skew everything, but just keep that in mind. They brought up another guy to back up Ramondre Stevenson when they already have Pierre Strong and somebody else. I forgot the other guy's name, but that really sums it up, guys, for the Hurt Locker. I don't know if you guys want to touch on any of them. The good ones, the only one I really am really worried about is the Jonathan Taylor one. Are we going to play him this week? I think this is just going to be a game time decision and see what the coaching staff says, what kind of percentage he's like really at. And then the bad one, James Conner's obviously not that good, but I expect him just to they've been playing kind of crappy. Give him a little bit of a break, let him rest his ribs. I expect him coming back without like skipping a beat. It's the T. Higgins one that really scares me though.
Yeah, he kind of screwed people over last week, being active and not. So if he is active, I'm still not playing him. I'm looking for a backup, guys. I'd rather see him get healthy. I don't want to be caught like that again. And James Conner, that's really disappointing. That's a sweet matchup in Seattle this week. But Melvin Gordon, guys, if you picked him up off of waivers or you have him and you're relying on him because you got some guys on bye week, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Swift, who you haven't been depending on, but Jamal Williams. Mike Boone's available in like just under 70% of leagues, and Latavius Murray about 85% of leagues. So you might want to throw him on your bench if you're depending on one of those guys to play Monday night.
Yep. Anything on these, Ryan?
Yeah, I would say Jonathan Taylor, if he's good to go, you obviously have to start him. He is up against the Jacksonville defense that ranks 9th worst against running backs and fantasy points allowed. So you got, first of all, he's Jonathan Taylor. He's your number one pick, a lot of high draft capital, bye weeks, don't have really any other options. And then you throw in a nice matchup. You got to play him if he's healthy, if he's playing.
Right.
If he's healthy.
Good call. All right, and I'll keep our socials posted if something else comes awry. But it's been hectic. There's a couple other names, but nothing too crazy yet.
Yeah, you got to really see what the Friday injury report is. So make sure you're following us. Just a tip, FFP. I forgot to say we are recording on October 13th on Thursday night. So things can change in a night. 12 hours and everything that we talk about can change. So make sure you follow us. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We will update you on who guys we're pivoting against, even if they're active. So with that, guys, let's go with our Tippin' Ain't Easy. Our calls from last week that we got right or wrong. We never get anything wrong. So the ones we got right.
All we do is sit around here and guess what a bunch of little pricks are going to go and do out there. Then we come back at half time and we complain because they didn't do exactly what we thought they'd do.
Nice.
That is the best.
I was hoping you would enjoy that.
That's awesome.
Didn't want to say that I kind of stole that awesome graphic that Regan has made. Not stole it, but used it.
That's why it's there, my man.
Good stuff.
Make us look good.
And you got to watch that show. Ted Lasso. All right. Tippin' Ain't Easy calls of the week, guys. I was saying Arizona, for some reason, they shut down the number one threat. So A.J. Brown did not do well. But I said, full go with Devonta Smith. Boom game. 19 points. He had 10 receptions, 87 yards. And then Breece Hall, the window is closed to trade for him. Or else you're going to be paying Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook type level to get him. And I wouldn't do that. I'd stick with those guys. But Breece Hall, 25-point game, guys. And he could have had 2 more touchdowns, too. That was ridiculous. So it's going to be awesome. Will he make it to the top 5 running back? Because we talk about it, Regan, right? The only 6 out of the top 12 that we are preseason ranked actually make the top 12. So doors wide open for him.
It's pathetic.
Breece has a chance, but Josh Jacobs is kind of shutting that door closed. He's going right into the top 5 there, man.
Yeah, it was
looking good.
Great offseason call by you so far.
Oh my God,
I like
every
it.
Year, every fucking year.
You had some pretty nice calls last week though too. Some deep tips. Yeah.
Khalil Shakur. I said if Isaiah McKenzie's not going to go, Shakur has got to be a flex. 3 receptions, 75 yards, and a touchdown. He had at least 1 drop, maybe more. But he's a rookie. Those things are going to happen. But he puts up a big game. And then we talked a little bit about Kareem Hunt, how he was definitely playable. Get him in there. Running backs, it's hard to get points from running backs right now. So 14 PPR points from Kareem Hunt. He gives you a decent week against the Chargers, and I felt happy about both of those picks there. Reegs had the call.
He did, but before we get to that, can we play Shakira this week against Kansas City?
No. McKenzie's back, cleared concussion protocol. He's the guy. He's the flex. I'm playing him for sure.
Drop Shakira or keep him stashed?
I'd keep him stashed. I mean, if you got a deep bench, I mean, it's hard to hold on to some of these guys, but yeah, for sure. Like if McKenzie goes down again, Shakira's the slot option. Allen throws to the slot all the time. Like he's going to rack up points if given the opportunity.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, Regan, call of the week here, but a little bittersweet for you because he's kind of the reason you lost to me.
Oh, yeah, you don't say that. Yeah, him and Travis Kelce were your entire team.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyways, yeah, so I called Gabe Davis. I just, I had a feeling. I know he's been struggling. A little struggle bus. He's been riding that for a while. He finally got off there at the right stop. 3 for 6, 171 yards. I know it's not a lot of work, but the fact that he was part of the offense, got in the end zone twice, one being a 98-yard touchdown, was absolutely beautiful right at the beginning of the game. It made me feel great that I already had the call on the first play of the game, pretty much. And the Tyler Algier, we saw that they were playing Tampa Bay. I said you gotta sit him, even though he's going to be the only running back in the backfield with Cordell Patterson out. It's not the way to go. So 13 carries, 45 yards, not what you wanted to get from your running back there. So not too shabby, boys. Good stuff this week.
Yeah, him and Huntley couldn't do it. And spoiler alert, you can't start them again this week either.
No.
They're going against like the best defense in the league, San Francisco. So maybe we can start one Atlanta guy, but we'll talk about that in a bit. A little bit of stuff that we're looking at for our start sits, guys. New segment, crossing the line. All right, we got the bye weeks, but you have to fill them in. It might not be ideal. Stretch plays that you might have to make to throw them in your lineup. So we're going to discuss them. And when we cross the line, that's just going too far. Nope, we are not. We're not that desperate. Hopefully.
No
some of us might be. All right. So bye weeks is Detroit Lions, Houston Texans, the Raiders, and Tennessee Titans. So you're without Goff, you're without Derek Carr, so you might have to start a QB. But the running backs are what's taking the hit. Like I said, no Swift, Jamal Williams, Dameon Pierce, who's been absolutely lighting it up, top 12 running back this year for sure, end of season. And Josh Jacobs,
Henry,
top 10, Ryan, and Derrick Henry. He'll be there. We'll see. We'll see.
5 right now.
Can't complain. Yeah, he's doing awesome. 5 catches, but anyway, he's on bye, so you can't use him. So you will be missing that. So we'll get into some guys that you can fill in your lineup. So QBs, guys. All right, here's the line. It's kind of gross. Jimmy G, who hasn't been putting up the best numbers his entire career. He's less than 20 points per game his entire career, but he has Atlanta Falcons. If I'm without a QB, do I start him? Pick him up and stream him this week.
Yeah, I think you can.
Yeah, all right.
Definitely. It's just bad, they don't have Pitts. You don't know how that – it's just rough.
With
for
the Falcons?
Atlanta, yeah. So it could be.
Yeah, I just don't want it to be a blowout and then they just run the ball the whole time. I think you can still play him though. I think you're smart. I think if Jimmy G can rack up points, he will. He needs the stats to look better.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could do worse, but that's just literally okay. He might make it into the top 12 if he's lucky. A couple big bomb touchdowns to Kittle or Debo. That's what you got to hopefully getting 20 points from him.
Big week from Kittle. Big week from Kittle, I'm thinking. And Jimmy G, I mean, yards are going up every game. Double-digit touchdowns last game. Not double. Oh my God, multiple touchdowns last game, not double digits.
Double digits.
And, yeah. So yeah, I think he's playable. Do you want to play him? Probably not. Can you play him? Sure.
But you can. Widely available to you. Aaron Rodgers, guys, he started out really bad, but he's facing the Jets. And he's pissed off. They just lost to the Giants over in London. I think you could play him too. I mean, he's mostly on people's benches, but I'm okay starting him. He's QB 19 currently. I'm guessing he'll get into top 15 this week. Hopefully, maybe.
He's had exactly 20 fantasy points the past 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect. Very consistent.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you need, it's hopefully what you're going to get.
If you're looking for a safe pick, like I'd rather play Aaron Rodgers, obviously, than Jimmy G, Trevor Lawrence. Like he's safer than Russell Wilson. He's safer than Derek Carr, probably. So, yeah, if you want to just play it safe, those guys probably have a little bit of more of a boom, a little bit more of a ceiling. But, bye weeks, you kind of got to play it safe. I don't know if an angry Rodgers is the best either. I'm not convinced. I think that guy gets rattled pretty easily, but I don't know.
I'd be angry with that haircut too.
Oh my gosh, it's god awful.
It's so bad.
Well, you mentioned him, Trevor Lawrence, guys. He's facing Indy. He was the QB 12. Just snuck into the top 12 on that week last time he faced Indy.
That's my line.
Ryan shaking.
That's my line.
Oh no,
that's it, man. That's the line. That's it. I can't go with T-Law. I can't do it. He's been real bad the last couple of weeks. I mean, 2 weeks ago, 6 turnovers? It's like something happened to him after that Chargers game. I don't know what it was.
It was a bad, rainy game with his 4 fumbles. He'll bounce back, but yeah, I'd rather start Jimmy G. So Regan, recross the line.
Yeah, you gotta. It's a thin line, but his toes over it. I'm all
right.
There's the line, and you just crossed it.
All right. Moving on to running backs, guys. Like I said, you're missing some. So Eno Benjamin, Regan said in the hurt locker. James Conner might not play. Juicy matchup against Seattle. RB2. You're putting him in that RB2 slot.
Oh yeah, easy.
All right. No James Conner, no Darrell Williams.
Correct.
He's it. He's the option.
He's the guy.
And Seattle can't stop shit. I could be in the backfield for the Cardinals this week and gain 100 yards.
Whoa! All right.
Wow.
Benjamin better have 300. The obvious, guys. I'm just pointing out the obvious here.
It is. They are pretty bad. But on the other side, Ken Walker, pickup of the week, guys. Poor Rashad Penny, season-ending injury. Was it broken fibula, whatever it is?
It ain't good, I'll tell you that.
It ain't good. And season's over. Really sucks. He took a 1-year deal, prove-it deal. And broken bone, poor guy. Not a soft tissue injury that he normally deals with. And he was looking good. But Ken Walker busted off a big run. That was pretty much his entire day, though. So are we starting him, though, against Arizona?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
All right. Trust the rookie. Here we go. Guys, game of the week that we're going to get into, Kansas City, Buffalo. CEH didn't get in the end zone, guys. He was so close, ass on the ground, 6 inches before the goal line. And then Travis Kelce just had to steal it from him. So I think the narrative would change. I'm still starting him, even against Buffalo. They'll get down to the goal line, and they're going to draw something up to get CEH in the end zone.
It's just so inconsistent. It's so bad. He had 21-something points versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's like top 9, I think, and rush defense. It might even be top 5. He also got a reception for a touchdown. That's where it really comes. That whole flip play that was freaking amazing by Patrick Mahomes. But I'm all set with CEH. I'd rather play Benjamin over him.
All right.
I mean, yes, I agree with that. I think Eno over CEH this week, just based off of matchup and opportunity. Absolutely. But at the same time, I think you got to play him this week. You're probably going to find yourself in this spot. Regan and I were talking about this pre-show. You have a lot of teams. You have 4 teams this week with decent running backs on a bye. You're probably going to need a running back. You got injured running backs. You're probably going to have to play CEH. I think it's fine. Mac, last week you kind of warned against not necessarily starting him, but you warned that he was trending downwards because he's so touchdown dependent. I do think that's true. But at the same time, I think it's fine starting him because, like you said, Reeks, it is unpredictable. So he could have a big game. It doesn't even matter what the matchup is.
Just so you know, Mac, he had 3 fantasy points and no touchdowns last week.
Yeah,
so you were right.
But he's averaging a touchdown, either receiving or rushing each game. He had 2 the first week, but that was against Arizona. So yeah, Ken Walker over him. I just think as an RB2, if you got a Jacobs on bye, I'm willing to start him. I'm not going to stream. I don't know, Latavius Murray or this guy, Tony Pollard. I think I'd rather start CEH over Tony Pollard. They're at Philly. Philly's defense is looking pretty good too.
Yeah, Philly's defense, their run defense is middle of the pack, but the defense in whole is looking pretty good. I still think I would play CEH over Pollard just based off of Pollard splitting with Zeke. We've talked about that before. I think Pollard's like creeping along plate, like definitely startable every week. Like you don't have to feel bad about starting him. I'd rather start Pollard than AJ Dillon.
AJ Dillon has sucked, guys.
Yes.
I'm okay dropping him. He's not like people are like, oh, you can start Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. And it's like his snap percentage has decreased each game steadily by like 10% each. Yeah.
Bad.
You're better off starting Alexander Madison, who is facing Miami this week, who has gotten goal line opportunities, passes out of the backfield. 3 receptions last game, I believe. I did not bring up his stats, but I'm banking on garbage time. Miami is starting their 3rd string QB, 7th round, preseason wonder, Skylar Thompson. I'm expecting their defense is not good. They are bleeding points to the running backs position right now. Dalvin Cook with 100 yards and a touchdown. Alexander Madison could do that as well. Would you start CEH or Alexander Madison?
CEH.
Easy. Sure. I get it. But Pollard or Alexander Madison?
You know, I was just looking at their stats, and Pollard gets more carries consistently.
He does.
But Madison gets some more use in the passing game. So it's pretty even.
Defense.
It's like Pollard gets some, worse defense. Pollard gets used more, but it's not as much as you think. So, you know, if you have to pick between those 2 guys, Madison. But if you're picking between those 2 guys, you're in trouble anyway. So,
good point.
Definitely over AJ Dillon, though. And for some reason, he's been getting started like almost 50% of leagues. So that's why I brought it up. Melvin Gordon against the Chargers on Monday night. If he's good to go, I'm willing to start him. Hopefully, he holds on to the ball. And then deep tip, we mentioned it with Jonathan Taylor. Deion Jackson, guys, pick him up.
Might be crossing some lines here, Mac.
I'm saying if Jonathan Taylor is out and Haynes is out,
big
Deion Jackson PPR points. Desperation.
I'm all for it. I'm for it.
I think you're smart, especially if you have Jonathan Taylor.
And then this, guys, I want to definitely stash him. Rachaad White for Tampa Bay. Old fatty Fournette. Might not be able to go the whole game against Pittsburgh. Look for some garbage time with Rachaad White. So I'm just saying. Pittsburgh's
he's like the
pretty
Hulk
terrible
now, man. That dude is jacked.
He is. He's good. But definitely stash Rachaad White. Strange that a rookie running back's getting involved with the Brady offense. But I wouldn't play him this week. I'm not taking that risk. DFS play for sure. Sits Damian Harris, guys. Even if he's active, I'm saying bench him.
Oh yeah. Agreed.
All right.
He's not playing.
No. Yeah, I don't think he will.
So I said agreed.
Yeah. Any Atlanta running backs, they're at San Francisco. San Francisco's like top 3 in every defensive category. I'd rather, I don't know, pick a
not
third
play
string.
Anyone.
Yeah, I'd rather not play anybody. And the Los Angeles Rams running backs, guys, I'm saying bench. Like, I haven't seen crap from them. I'm not playing Akers. I'm not playing Henderson. What are you guys doing with them?
I'll tell you in our next segment.
I mean, real quick, I would say Pollard or Madison over both of them.
Yeah, I would too.
Really? You guys are taking Madison that high, huh? Madison's definitely
No,
my
I'm just
line.
ranking the Rams running backs that low. It's been terrible.
I agree, but I think there's something to this coming up game that I want to get into.
All right, they got Carolina. I rather Madison against Miami, but we will get into that more. Or I forgot to mention, guys, Buffalo running backs. Singletary, do we start him against a high-scoring game against Kansas City? Against Miami, against Miami, he got a lot of check down passes and stuff. So I think you can start him. Then James Cook got into the end zone, 4 receptions last week. I'm not.
Yeah, not starting Cook. Singletary is a nice flex, though.
All right. I don't think we're that desperate yet. Yeah. All right.
There's the line, and you just lost it.
That drop's going to get old real quick if we keep you. All right, on to the wide receivers here. Alec Pierce versus Jacksonville. He's been a better wide receiver than Michael Pittman. Moving the chains. Matt Ryan is not throwing further than 20 yards downfield.
He old.
And the times he does, it's to the tight end or to Alec Pierce. So are we starting him? We're willing to flex him, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's Alec Pierce time, baby. 9 targets last week, 8 catches, double digits the last 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. I'm a little worried about Michael Pittman and him being the only guy in Indy.
Yeah, same. DJ Moore at the Rams. I think we're starting Alec Pierce over him, right? DJ Moore has been such the disappointment. I'm not trusting him, especially after the coach's firing. Ben McAdoo still calling the offense for some reason. So I don't know what to expect.
I think if bye weeks, if you're really in a bind, like he's getting some more usage. 8 targets last week, 11 the week before that. So his targets are going up. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's
do you trust PJ Walker, the QB coming in? Yeah.
But it can't be worse than Baker, right? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. True. Rondale Moore lining up in the slot for Arizona, getting more involved in their offense 1 week before DeAndre Hopkins comes back. So I'm waiting for Marquise Brown to go off this week, and I'm trading him and Zach Ertz, trying to move up with those respected positions.
Yeah, Zach Ertz is the one you should be worried about. I think he's going to lose a lot of work with that group.
Definitely will. Marquise Brown, I think his production will go down, but he's been killing it. But yeah, Rondale Moore, you can flex them against Seattle. They are one of the worst teams against the pass as well. They let Carson Wentz throw all over them. So
what are they good at?
Says enough.
Scoring points. Their offense.
They're actually No, I think that's actually not true, Mac. They're the 4th best in fantasy points against with wide receivers. It doesn't feel that way because Carson Wentz tore him up a little bit, but the receivers don't tend to score a ton of points against them. So
it's the running backs. All right, excuse me.
It's the running backs.
Yeah,
and Carson Wentz
passes out of the backfield.
This is a team effort.
Passes out of the backfield. So Rondale Moore, who does that type of stuff close to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I got him as a good stash, and I'm just kind of like waiting it out, see how it all works out.
I got you.
He could be something.
I'm actually a little bit more worried about Marquise Brown this week, to be honest with you.
Okay. So I should trade him now, is what you're saying?
No. It's been great.
Still
playing Marquise, but worried.
All right, we'll get to deeper tips in a bit, but Jalen Waddle, guys, for Miami, he's been wide receiver 60 and 76 without Tua. Should we start him against the Vikings? With
Mac, have you heard they took the ping pong table out of the Miami Dolphins? They took their ping pong table.
It's ridiculous. No, we got to focus on the game.
After 2 losses, they're like, no more ping pong, boys. We're taking it out of the locker room.
So it is. they're gonna have to throw the ball. Vikings are gonna score points. I'm willing to play them, but I don't like it. But you drafted him. You drafted him high. I don't know how you can pivot.
Well, Hill has that walking boot. There's no news on him. Supposedly, they think he's going to play, no problem, which is weird. I don't really get it.
So, I was listening, and Stefania Bella from ESPN saying that precautionary with the walking boot, it actually feels more comfortable. The way
He's never worn a walking boot.
Elevates your heel. I don't know. Maybe they got some high-tech ones, man.
What is the quarterback situation this week? The last that I checked, no news, no practicing for Teddy B. Obviously not for Tua.
He can't.
He was at practice today, practice limited with a non-contact jersey, but that means nothing to this Sunday.
Mike McDaniel already said that they're going with Skylar to start.
Okay.
And they're expecting Teddy B to back him up. It doesn't make no sense to me when you're spending
similar. It's going to be
million.
similar. Yeah, right. It's going to be similar game plan to last week. I think Mostert is a great play. I think Waddle probably not. And I like your next note here. This guy to replace him.
Yeah, Tyler Boyd, guys. If I had him and Waddle, I would play Tyler Boyd if Higgins is out.
Definitely, he gets used.
Or a New England wide receiver. Jacoby Myers coming back. Very dependent on him. I think I'm willing to play him instead of Waddle. I'd take those 10 PPR points instead of the risk of wide receiver 76 on the week. God damn, Waddle. Come on. Drake London versus San Francisco. I don't like it.
Nope. I loved Drake London like 3 weeks ago. Now it's not looking great. How did Mariota get so much worse in the last 2 weeks than the first 3?
Ridiculous. Glad I traded Drake for Olave, though.
Ooh,
hopefully that works.
Wow, straight up?
No, it was packaged, but
Jesus stuff.
Yeah.
Still though.
They're Dynasty redraft?
Redraft. I traded.
Oh, beautiful.
Traded Leonard Fournette and Drake London for Dalvin Cook and Chris Olave.
Oh my God. Then you won
that was like week 3, I think, something like that. We'll see.
It's like you knew what you were doing.
I like Fournette better than That's cool.
We'll see. Where was I? Oh, Kansas City receiver guys. Can we bet on any one of them to play in a highest over under on the week? Kansas City.
Travis Kelce.
That's it.
MVS did get used a lot, which I was pretty excited to see, but I don't know.
We can't talk about MVS on the show anymore.
Oh,
there's a rule, Regan. We established that rule.
Done. It's done.
So I say his full name? We can talk about him?
Yeah. What about Marquez Valdez-Scantling?
20 minutes later.
Juju Smith-Schuster, Dave Richard from CBS did some work on it. He cannot beat man coverage. He has to go up against zone. So unfortunately, Buffalo, they will play some man coverage on him. And he's still dealing with his knee swelling or whatever. So he's a drop for me. I'm not even going to bother. Drop for me as well. Brandon Ayuk, goodbye. Or sit him. Elijah Moore for the Jets and Garrett Wilson against Green Bay, guys. I don't know. They've been disappointing. I can't start Garrett Wilson.
Are you guys dropping Elijah Moore? I can't.
I literally did. He was the worst player on my team for a defense today. So
that hurts a little.
Yeah, those stupid defenses. And Randall Cobb. Do we go chasing those points?
Honestly, oh my God, Christian Watson, looking like he might not be able to play this week. So you got Romeo Doubs, Cobb, and Lazard. I wouldn't mind taking Cobb if he's the third.
All right, cool. Let's move into tight ends here. David Njoku must start right now. I think he is tight end 8 on the year, I want to say.
Njoku?
He's had some big weeks.
Correct.
He is 8. Yes, he has. Against New England, though. But who is the guy that New England is going to shut out? Amari Cooper or David Njoku?
Njoku, because Brissett shuts down Cooper.
What are you talking about?
Sorry.
He's had three
Cooper's
pretty good
been
games.
solid, man.
He's been great,
solid.
man. I'm starting him. He's better at home too. So they're home against New England. David Njoku has.
I'm still playing him. He's in my lineup.
The Pats have not been good against tight ends this year. Like they were against TJ Hawkinson for whatever reason, but 5 touchdowns, second most amount of touchdowns to the tight end position this year.
Yeah. I just want to go over this right now for tight ends. So here's the point scoring for tight ends. You got 100. This is PPR on the season. 111 points for Travis Kelce. 91 for Mark Andrews. Number 3 is TJ Hawkinson. You guys want to guess how many his point total? Remember, he had like the 45-point game.
Yeah, it's like 67 or something, right?
Yeah, it's 65. You are correct.
That was a guess.
65 I was going to say 70.
65.7. Zach Ertz with number 4, 64 points. It is garbage at tight end. You just gotta take a shot. Yeah, it's outrageous. It's sad. If you don't get one of those, you just gotta take a shot. So guys, I'm taking a shot on David Njoku. You're just starting him, but a shot. Will Disley versus Arizona, top 3 best tight end matchup. Their defense is bad. They'll take out the number 1 guy. That's not Will Disley for Seattle. So Metcalf slump game this week. Calling that now. Don't expect him to put up huge numbers. And Will Disley get in the end zone for me. Do we take a shot on Kyle Pitts if he's healthy against San Fran?
Nope.
Yeah, tight end 23. Hopefully you picked up Taysom Hill, and he is tight end eligible, and you're starting him over pretty much anybody. I'd start him over Njoku.
TJ Hawkinson.
I'd start him. Well, he's on a bye, so yeah, I would do that. Good call. Pat Freiermuth, number 10 tight end on the week, but he is facing Tampa Bay.
And not completely out of concussion protocol.
Not yet. I'm pretty sure he will clear, but keep following us. Conklin, goosing us. Ryan, after so much potential, can we trust Zach Wilson?
He's still on pace to be more consistent than TJ Hawkinson, though. Only off by 1 point last week.
Top 12 tight end.
You guys know Taysom Hill's number 7?
Yeah, with 1 catch.
That's stupid.
Oh my god.
It's so dumb. I hate it, but I picked him up where I could.
I love it.
Last one, guy I would take a shot on, Irv Smith versus Miami. Xavier Howard should be back, so hopefully he's covering. Justin Jefferson, Byron Jones still out, so they're going to have to focus on Adam Thielen in the red zone. I can see Irv Smith sneaking out into the flat and getting a touchdown, so we'll see if that happens. Anybody else that we want to talk on real quick? Not a big explanation for tight ends.
No, tight ends are rough.
It is. Take a shot, but I guess we'll just get into.
Logan Thomas is out. That makes you feel better.
He is out. Okay,
but he didn't play this weekend. He's playing right now.
Playing Thursday night. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
Sorry, I looked at it on my sheet. It's in my head.
It's all good. We got a lot of stuff going on. All right, we'll wrap it up in a bit. We'll get to our risque starts and sits, guys. Put your tips on the line here, Regan. Who are you starting? Give me 2 starts.
Oh, you guys aren't gonna like these ones
at
all. And my first one is, guys, I think with these bye weeks, it's a possibility that we play Cam Akers as our RB2. And I only say this because Carolina, they lost their coach. They lost their starting QB. They're the 26th worst run defense in the NFL. I can't think of a better time or a better team for the Rams to have a get-right game. I think this is going to be a decent game for the Rams all around. Henderson has fallen off compared to his week 1 decent game. Now, I'm not expecting some crazy game from Cam Akers. I'm expecting, 10 points to like a low double-digit score, but that's not too shabby for, a guy, a fill-in. And there's necessarily a possible, he gets a touchdown, his score is going to escalate pretty quickly. And I know we haven't seen it yet, but if it is going to happen, this is the game, and I'm not going to miss it. Simple enough. My second,
you were going to be disappointed. Go ahead.
Cross the line.
Yeah, I like it. All right. Oh, I got my 2 starts right the past 2 weeks, so I might as well throw a third one out there and see what happens. My other one is another tough one, and it's Hayden Hurst. Pretty much the common factor of Cincinnati tight end. Common factor for his success lately has been T. Higgins being out and banged up. And if T. Higgins is out or just, not 100%, he could have another great game. I know he is playing New Orleans, who hasn't let up a touchdown since week 12 of last year. So that's not a good sign. But the past 2 weeks, he's had 11 total targets, 2 touchdowns the past 2 weeks. So, one in the past 2 games in each. I'm not expecting a touchdown, to be honest with you, but I'm expecting, 8 targets, 9 targets, and making something of it. Hayden Hurst is going to be a little relief valve for Joe Burrow. So another deeper play. Both these guys are somewhat deeper plays, but I think there's definitely some worse options behind these guys.
Hayden Hurst. Whoa, we are diving down deep.
It is.
You did last week, so I was like, oh, I feel like I have to actually do some real research.
It's very risque.
That's if T. Higgins doesn't play, or if he's like really limited.
even so, man, he checks down to him. Man, you could do worse at tight end. Ryan, who do you got?
All right, 2 starts this week. George Pickens. Targets are up each of the last 3 weeks. 7, 8, and 8. 6 receptions in back-to-back weeks. That Pickens connection is real nice. So George Pickens is my risque start of the week. And Tyler Boyd. Saints rank in the bottom 10 in fantasy points against. We've already mentioned this like 18 times. T. Higgins could be out. Tyler Boyd, get him in your lineups if Higgins is ruled out 100%.
Like it. A quick question. Ligo's in George Pickens somehow was on the free agents list, and so was Rondell Moore.
Pick him up.
I grabbed Pickens. I only can grab one.
Yeah. Take the bigger upside. Yeah.
All right.
Long term, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. That too. We don't know what's going to happen when Hopkins comes back. Is Kyler Murray just going to chuck it to him 50% of the time? So we'll see. My starts, guys. Allen.
Risque, Mac.
Risque start. It's not really risque.
I like it when you get risque.
Okay.
I don't.
This one isn't really risque. But Allen Lazard, guys, he either has 100 yards or a touchdown in each one of his games. So start him with confidence. This one is a bit riskier because you are banking on garbage time. But if you are hurting at the running back department, we already mentioned it. Alexander Madison, garbage time, baby. Let's go. He'll be an RB2 this week for you.
I like it.
Regan, who are you sitting?
So the first guy I'm sitting is Drake London. Only 11.2 fantasy points in the past 2 weeks combined. 49ers defense is not allowed a receiver to score more than 13 fantasy points this season, and he ain't gonna do it either. They're ranked 6th best versus wide receivers. He's a little banged up, and so is Kyle Pitts. And Kyle Pitts is the only guy that's going to get any coverage off of him. So it's going to be him versus the world, and it's not going to go over well. James Robinson is my second one. Second week in a row that I said to sit him, or whatever it was. I said it the other day. Robinson, he had an okay game in Indy back in week 2, I believe. I believe they played them. I don't know if that's accurate.
I think it was week 1.
Was it week 1?
No, that was Houston. I don't remember.
Either way, I believe he played them week 2. He had a touchdown, but he only averaged about 2.8 yards per carry. Not the best, obviously. Since that game, he's only averaged 11 carries a game. So his workload has dropped since week 2. This is where I've been seeing, him become very dependent on the touchdowns. That's why I've been saying bench him. And I think this is going to happen again. He's Colts ranked 7th best versus the run now since week 2. I'm staying away from James Robinson. That team is also kind of taking a beating. And like we were saying, maybe somebody's high on James Robinson. I'm down to trade him.
Absolutely. That window might have passed the last couple of weeks, but we'll see. Hopefully you still can. If somebody's desperate enough, you got bye weeks coming up, like they might buy James Robinson, but I do it this week. Do it now. My 2 this week. Najee Harris is the first. So you got some talk of Jaylen Warren taking over that third down, passing down role a little bit more this week. And then Harris has struggled all season, man. You got Tampa Bay ranks 3rd against the run. We've already touched on that. Like, I'm not really confident starting Najee Harris. I think you bench him this week. And number 2 is Gabe Davis. We love Gabe Davis. Just had a huge matchup. Great. And he's got a decent matchup this week against KC. We knew what he did last year in the playoffs against them. The dude can't get more than 3 catches in a game. I can't rely on that. Like, yes, he had 171 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. He's never going to do that again for the rest of the season on 3 catches. And that's what he's maxed out at. I'm not confident playing Gabe Davis.
You're killing me, Petey. You're killing me.
What he said.
Hey, Regan, how many touchdowns did Gabe Davis have last time this team faced off? Can you recall?
3?
Yeah, I think it was 4. 4 touchdowns.
4. Oof.
Don't you think that's going to be like a sign to put some extra attention on him? Don't you think Andy Reid's like smart enough to make some adjustments around 2. Gabe Davis?
Yeah. That's
all right.
You gotta regret sitting him. I'm starting him full confidence, boom or bust. I don't care. I'm not missing out on it anymore.
Yeah, his ceiling's just so high. And just to top off on your Najee Harris, I started writing out a Najee Harris sit. And I was like, Ryan already wrote it.
Yeah.
So I agree with you 100%.
That's why I didn't want to draft him this year at all.
I didn't.
My sits, guys, this one might call me stupid. Ezekiel Elliott. I'm not starting.
Not calling you stupid.
Yeah. He's been disappointing. Running back 36 on the year, guys. But have faith. He's facing Philadelphia. They will force Dallas to pass and make turnovers. But next week, Detroit and Chicago, then is bye week. So after he sucks this game, trade for him. Especially if you have some running backs on buys those weeks. My other guy is it's definitely risque, is Amari Cooper versus New England. 15 wide receiver. He just had a boom game of 21 points last week. I think Cleveland's just going to run. It's going to be a slow-ass game for both sides. They're both going to be running the ball. Not many opportunities for Amari Cooper. I don't think he's going to be able to put up much more than 12 points, so I'm looking to pivot. I'm okay benching him, especially from where I drafted him in the draft capital. I don't expect a 20-point game from Amari Cooper. I think Jack Jones is going to be on him and keep him relatively quiet.
I like it a lot.
But that's risky.
I also thought your Zeke thing was kind of like appealing. Trade for him after this week. Mm-hmm. It's all based on the price. If you might be able to get really low. So if you could do something like that and just get somebody that might have some upside later on, especially when Dak comes back, you never know.
Hopefully James Robinson does well for you this week, and the centerpieces will be Zeke and James Robinson and some other flex players. Let's see what happens.
I like it.
All right. If you have made it this far in the episode, takers, we appreciate it. Just download, share the episodes. You got any start-sit questions that we didn't get to? It's a lot of guys. We can't get to everybody. We are but 3 tips coming together. And we will text every single day if anybody has a question. Yeah, something like that. And help you guys out with anything you have questions on, trade questions, start sits. If you're watching us, like and subscribe, be much appreciated. Boys, do we want to get into games of the week?
Yes.
No. Picking the games. All right. I was trying to bring it up. And right now, Chicago is beating Washington 7-3. Guys,
oh yeah, baby!
What a barn burner!
Joey Sly was the MVP up until like 10 seconds ago.
At least we have a touchdown scored this week, unlike last week. All right. God. Game of the week: Minnesota and Miami. Miami's underdog by 3 points. I'm picking Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yep. All right. San Fran and Atlanta. San Fran. This one's tough, guys. I don't know what to do. New England at Cleveland.
I went Pats.
You went Pats
this week.
I'll be different. I'll go Cleveland.
Pats are good against the run, man. They're good against the run.
I know, and that's what I'm a little worried about. Brissett revenge game. New York Jets at Green Bay.
Yep.
Jets. Jets.
I knew he was going to.
Yes.
Zach Wilson season.
Zach Wilson, the loaded wide receiver core. Oh man, Breece Hall. Beautiful.
Breece Hall, man, he could look like Saquon out there, just destroying them. So I don't mind it.
Cross the line.
Who does better? Garrett Wilson, you said stacked wide receiver core. Garrett Wilson or Allen Lazard?
Lazard.
Oh, Allen Lazard. Fantasy for sure.
I'm trying to make a bet. All right. Jacksonville at Indy. I got to go with Indy. Come on.
Gotta go Indy.
Actually, I might have went Jags.
Well, Jacksonville usually beats Indy. Like
they can beat They can beat anybody. They got a decent team. You just don't know what Jacksonville you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully Jonathan Taylor's back. Cincinnati at New Orleans. This one was tough for me, guys. New Orleans is underdog by 1.5.
Yeah, I went Cincy.
I'm gonna go New Orleans.
Ooh, if T. Higgins plays.
Yeah. I went Cincy.
You also got to see if Jameis Winston's playing.
Even so, Taysom Hill running all over him. They'll shut down Jamar Chase. Let's go.
As usual.
Ryan, going Cincy?
I went Cincy, but that one's tough.
Yeah. Subject to change. Baltimore at Giants. Can the Giants keep it rolling, guys? 4-1 on the season.
Baltimore.
That's a negative.
Let's hope
Baltimore should be undefeated. They should be undefeated.
They should be. Tampa Bay at Pittsburgh. Tampa Bay.
Yep.
I like how Tampa Bay is only favored by 8.
It's pathetic.
There you go.
I would take that over.
You got some money left over from last week.
There you go.
$60.
Carolina at the Rams. Oof. Rams are 2-3. Favored by 10.
Rams. PJ Walker. No, thanks.
Can we start Stafford? Asking for a friend.
It depends on what you're at. If you're at the line, what we were talking about, I'd start him over Jimmy G. But that's pretty much Geno Smith. I'd probably start over him.
Yeah, definitely Geno. But it's that or like Zach Wilson or Daniel Jones. I think I have to go with Stafford.
I'll go Stafford.
Yeah. We'll see. Arizona at Seattle. I'm going Seattle, guys.
Seattle, yeah, man. I like it, yeah.
All right.
Arizona.
I got to look into their history more. See usually wins out of these teams. Then this one, Dallas, Sunday night at Philly. Philly 5-0. Dallas somehow 4-1. Don't worry. I'm saving that one.
Okay.
I'm going
Eagles.
Philly.
You just got to roll with Philly.
Yeah, you got to.
Poor Cooper Rush. Winning streak coming to an end.
Oh, no.
Monday night game, Denver at the Chargers. Oh, man.
What the? Why do they keep screwing us over?
I'm gonna pick Chargers.
I went Chargers.
Yeah.
This makes me feel better because I have basketball on Mondays, and half the players don't show up when there's a good game on because they all want to watch it because of fantasy. Everyone's been showing up. It's been great. All the games have sucked on Monday.
Yeah, that's good. All right, game of the week though. For some reason, it isn't the Sunday night game. Buffalo at Kansas City. Who are we going with? Over under 54 points. Guys, this is the first time I think Mahomes has been the underdog at home. This is crazy. I'm picking Kansas City. I don't know if Buffalo can just get over the hump. It's ridiculous, but somehow, some way, Kansas City pulls it out at the end.
I went back and forth, but I ended up picking Buffalo in this one.
Just their defense is what's pushing me there. Kansas City's offense definitely is better. Buffalo's defense is definitely better. It's just, how does it weigh out? Defense wins championships. So that's what I went to.
Yeah.
Not anymore in the NFL, though. It's offense.
I was going to say Buffalo can't beat Kansas City, though. It's strange. If they can't beat them now, they'll never beat them. I think I'm just going to go opposite of everybody else. All right. Anything for the leftovers, guys? No, nothing. Still recovering from last week.
I just got like cable back. I haven't watched any TV. My liver hurts. Got nothing. Got nothing at all. Thank goodness.
I'm just trying to refresh for the wedding.
Disfatt-Bidge
wedding.
Refresh for it.
Yeah, just try.
You got time.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. We're old.
We are old.
I don't know how wild I'm gonna get that night.
I don't know how we're gonna make it. We'll see. Rehearsal dinner Wednesday night, Mexican restaurant, some margaritas.
Oh man, it's got like the bridesmaid scene written all over it.
I took Thursday off and Friday off. Thank God.
We shit in the streets.
She doesn't make it.
Just
that poor lady.
Don't wear your suits there. Don't wear too nice of clothes. My leftovers though, hockey has started. Bruins 1-0. Woohoo! Keep it going.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you have for Bruins? Okay, you're looking for something. Who's that?
Big win.
Just the Capitals. Johnny Mosley.
No. Who is that? Adam Oates.
He was an Olympic skier. I don't know. He said Johnny.
How do you know that?
He hosted like MTV's Battle of the Sexes and stuff. I don't know.
Have I ever told you guys about this?
No, but we're gonna do it off air.
Fine.
All right, tell the takers. Go ahead.
No, my grandmother gave it to me. It's signed and it had authenticity sticker on it, and I was little and peeled the authenticity sticker off.
Nice.
I didn't know. I was like, get this shit off of here.
Oh man. All right, put your stick away, Regan. Ryan's mom's not around.
I'm not even wearing pants.
Oh. Now it's a party.